Cowlazars, 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 Cowlazars.
This was my phone before.
Let's have some adventures. We'll spend days, we'll spend weeks, we'll spend months working our way through treasure hunts. Cowlazars, 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 Cowlazars. Mike drinks coffee a ton. Feel free to send him some. Cowlazars, 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 Cowlazars. Watch Mike once, you'll want to watch him again. James Frey once called him to talk Forrest Fenn. Cowlazars, you cannot go wrong. You could even say bovine photons. Now let's get going on the double. Let's talk treasure hunts. Let's talk puzzles.
Coronavirus. All right, everybody. It is Thursday, 6 p.m. Quarantine lockdown day 842. Coffee with Cowlazars and K-Pro. How's everybody doing? How are you, K-Pro?
I am good. I am tired. I want to get through this week, and we still have Friday to go. I have stuff going on all day tomorrow. I'm glad we were able to get on today because life's been busy, hasn't it, Michael?
Yeah, it has been busy. But that's what we do. Some of us are still, well, I'm lucky to be working still from home, so I can't complain.
Exactly.
And the other stuff we got going on.
We got some stuff going on. We got stuff. So
All a lie.
So what we're going to do today is just basically steal Dave Calvy's idea, straight up steal it, and just do an open Zoom, buddy. So he's been doing open Zooms like every day or multiple times a day, which is pretty cool. So we thought, why don't we do the same thing? Except
and
isn't really going to be an open Zoom because we learned, as K-Pro reminded me, we learned a couple things about an open Zoom. So if you guys want to come on the Zoom with video or not, email me, cowlazars@gmail.com, and I will send you the Zoom invite. What?
Do you want to settle the debate on who's your favorite? Who's your favorite tuber?
You're my favorite, honey.
Oh,
I mean, other
that's
than
so adorable. Oh, of course, I was talking other than me because that one's a given. You
Can I buy you?
you already have. You went to someone's channel, you hang out in their chat, and then went on their show. That's a pretty unique day.
Dave Calvy, yeah, he had the open Zoom. He seems to think he knows where the location is. He won't really give up stuff, but it's fun to talk about it or talk around it, right? So
yeah,
and he doesn't seem crazy. So a lot of the stuff, a lot of people we talk to, I know right where it is, and then you got to call me right away. Well, he doesn't do that, but he'll give you little tidbits. So yeah, I thought, we'll try an open Zoom. Mountain Dew is in the chat room.
Mountain Dew.
How you doing? What's up, everybody?
Yeah.
Kaya Nips, Rusty Nipples. Okay, now I get it. I was gonna say Dave Calvy should get royalties. It's funny, sassafras. So how is everybody out there doing? Donald Stevens, Sherry from PA, Christy Mayo, William Sparks, world famous gamer. How you doing? Hooley, of course. Thank you for being the moderator. Or Holly, however you pronounce it. All right. Jana, Donna, I don't know. 500 pieces. John Fokker.
And I see my poker peeps, and ever since my big win on the art, I've been not doing so well since then. So Davio knocked my butt out last night.
Still
I think
doing the poker, everybody, just doing it for fun. I'm sure there'll be another prize, but we haven't figured out when or how that's going to happen yet. But there'll be one down the road. But you win when it's important, when there's something on the line. I now have to win the next one just so I can win the next one, apparently. But we'll see.
Yeah. Okay, so do we want to talk about what's happening up in Yellowstone right now?
Of course, yeah. What's happening up in Yellowstone?
Well, first, Cynthia has left the state.
Cynthia has left the building, everybody. She's actually back home, right?
Yes, and she says, and I believe her, there's no treasure chest with her. So there you go. There you have it. Yes, chirp from her house. She's been posting pictures and videos and things. She has requested to come on the show and give out some information, and she wants a couple people to come on and help debunk the area because she likes it so much. So I still need to work with you for next
Set
week.
that up on which day next week? Or we don't?
I have not. I see Indian here. She's one person I need to connect with
nice.
later, and Justin I need to connect with. So yeah.
Oh, Justin's part of it as well.
He doesn't know it, but
Oh, okay.
yes.
Oh, he doesn't know. Maybe he'll find out tonight for the first time.
So Yellowstone, as Shadow says, nothing is happening in Yellowstone. So I know 2 people that are working in the park, 3 people that are working in the park, and then a couple people that have been up in the area. I'm hearing it's a ghost town. Yellowstone is not very busy, but there was an article out of all the Yellowstone Old Faithful people, and they were all lined up, and none of them had a mask on, and oh, the world's gonna fall apart.
Yeah.
I have also heard that there's a little town going up to the Yellowstone area that if you try to get through, they will arrest you. And there was pictures of people getting arrested, right?
Jack says, what's the problem with Yellowstone? It's open. Certain gates are open, right?
Certain gates are open. On the way there, you can get arrested. There is no, I mean, there, sure, Jack. I don't know. Are you
attacked by a bison? So that's great. Did you hear that? Some woman got attacked by a bison up there.
Oh, no.
I can show the news article if you guys want to see it.
No. I don't know the town. Who sent that to me? It was either Stacy, Ella, or Shadow. One of those guys are the ones that sent me about people being arrested. If you guys are in the chat, tell me which one those are. Cook City and Silver Gate, he says. So be careful when you're heading out there because that is what's happening. I am hearing everything else is practically a ghost town. The webcams are empty of people, and I have heard they're supposed to have some freak storm, like late May freak storm this weekend. Have you heard it's supposed to be raining or snowing up north?
No, I've not heard that at all. But
Yeah,
I hope
okay.
go into Yellowstone unless you have a focused mission like finding Forrest Fenn's treasure. But if I'm just like, yeah, I'm laid off and coronavirus is crazy, I think I'll go to Yellowstone. I mean, is that just somebody just says let's go on vacation?
No, probably what's
At the end
happened.
of May, I mean, I don't know.
My guess is probably what's happened is a year ago, because it usually takes a year in advance reservations. Some people said, my kids are out of school and I'm planning a vacation for my family or for me. And if the state opens back up, I'm heading up.
Yeah.
And we're still going because they have saved up for 5 years and they're finally going to see Yellowstone, and they're avid fishermen or whatever they are. They're outdoorsy people and they stuck to it and they're heading out. I don't know if that's the case or not, but then of course there's all these crazy treasure hunters too.
Snowed at OF today. What's OF? Do you know?
Snowed at OF today.
Lori James, what's OF?
OF.
I'm thinking it's related to Yellowstone or up north, but I don't know.
Shadow said it snowed yesterday here. Woo. So
right now, Deborah Jensen, email me at cowlazars@gmail.com. You can come on the show right now live. You will be on. So just email me.
And Montana opens June 1st. Okay, so that's been the big issue is Montana is not open. Wyoming is open.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not.
That weird. Yeah. Now, wait, the gate is closed, but can you like go into that? Is there a line through the park? So you can't go into Montana. Is there an invisible line where it's like you can't go in that part of the park?
I have no idea. Maybe hey, Shadow, I don't know if you can come on.
Justin Barwick, my Pahrump brother with the $2 super chat. I'm heading to Yellowstone. Trucker status go. Well, speaking of keep on trucking, we got to give a shout out to Country Gary.
Oh,
Some of you saw the pictures on Facebook. Here, actually, I'll bring it up. You want to tell?
Okay, so those of you that know, we've kind of been saying it, but kind of not. I'm in Vegas right now. So Mike gets a call from Country Gary that says, "Hey, bud," it's a voicemail. "Hey, buddy, I'm broken down on the side of the road at such and such. It's about 30 minutes from here." And he's like, "I need help. I don't know, I need some help." And I said, "Mike, who was that?" And he's like, "Country Gary." I'm like, "Gary from World Series of Fenn?"
That Gary. First off, you guys all should already join Forrest Fenn's Grand Adventure because this is where you get the info. Check it out. This is the 15 right there outside of Boulder City. And that's me and Gary just chilling, waiting for the record to show up. Boom, there we are.
So, we're smiling. What can you do other than he's heading boots on the ground? What can you do? And we just laugh. We couldn't do much. We were trying to figure out how to help him. So we sat on the side of the road and had.
Oh, that was you. Just like, there's a picture. What is that up? Is that his camper?
Yeah, that's when you miss the exit.
Oh,
and we had to go down to Lake Mead and back. Yeah. Yeah,
You had to drive an extra 10 miles. The 11 that just opened. Justin with another super chat says, "You're in Vegas? What the hell? You didn't tell me, K-Pro. We thought of a searcher meetup, but with coronavirus and everything, we weren't sure who all.
Justin, if you're
Restaurants
here,
actually open here in Vegas. You can go, to Olive Garden. Now, I wonder if they'd have a table of 10 or if they'd be like, no, you have to.
no, there's no tables. Well, we found that out with just the amount of.
A meetup would be hard. We have to do it outside somewhere.
No, we just are not allowed tables more than 6. That's why they broke us up and the kids up last night.
Right.
So it was 4 and 2. So we have.
Titus says, what broke down? He has a truck that's pulling his camper, and the truck, the something to do broke and was dragging. What the screw actually sheared off. Transmission,
Transmission.
Had to have it towed into Henderson there and get it fixed. So he asked if we wanted to have dinner today, and we even told him we weren't even going to do the show tonight because we were all wiped out. But at the last minute, K-Pro was always like, "We got to do a show. Hello,
we have to," because I remember life a few weeks ago and life a few weeks from now. Those of you that don't know, I do live in North Carolina. Me and the kids are heading back. A little over a week, and we will miss the Cowlazars family here, but we are heading home.
And Larry Sandell points out, you two stopped for me a couple years ago. Remember? Broke down on that awesome cabin cruiser thing he owned.
But it wasn't him. We were like breaking into some guy's
the exact same one, and we're like, yeah.
Well, it was funny because Larry had showed us pictures of his camper, which is a really nice like BMW camper. It was really nice, and it happened to be on the side of the road. So we're like, that's Larry. So we turned around and we like, hello, Larry, trying to get in this camper, and it wasn't Larry.
It was the ball joint to the Scramabam, the uplift through.
Stop that. I know you guys are 13 years old. All you boys, cut it out.
The universal joint, drive shaft, the ball joint. I don't know. Something. I should have took a picture of under his truck. So he was driving, and it was throwing sparks, and the state trooper pulled him over and said, "Hey, look at this." So it was with his truck. Well, unfortunately, Gary, if you're watching, or you'll watch it tonight when you pull over, he's trucking up. He's on his way up north somewhere, and Shadowcaster sent an email for the Zoom, and you're in. All right.
Yeah. So anyway, that was what we had some plans. We had to move them around. That was yesterday. The great part is by the time we got finished up with him, we got some appointments done. It was just a late night, and then please call me, Debbie's. I would be so sad to leave there. Okay, Debbie.
Help. He's talking about ball joints.
Stop it. Stop
I've
it.
listened to a lot of Andrew Dice Clay
recently. Hey, I can't. Oh, Justin.
Especially Opie and Anthony. Anybody? Opie and Anthony when Kumia would do Dice impersonations. It's just funny. But anyway, also Andrew Dice Clay is now on Cameo. He's like, get your Father's Day cameo early. And I keep telling John Bobbitt to get on Cameo, but he just won't do it. It's free money.
And anyway. John, I would like to see you. And Lisa, there's a lot of, now that things are opening up, I didn't want to, there's lots of people I'd like to see. There's probably 10 searchers here. We had about a dozen at the searcher meetup, but lots of people I call for. It was funny because when we posted it up on Facebook, we did have several people were like, I'll bring my lawn chair. We can start talking Fenn. We did talk Fenn. It was, here comes Shadow.
Uncle Titus says, try the wheel bearing. That's pretty good. There we go. Can you guys hear that? Hey, there we go. That's a good one, Uncle. I like it. There's Shadowcaster. Not sure if we'll have video with a Sting from World WWE or not.
Hold on a second.
I hear some audio.
I'm stuck. 13, aren't we all, Justin? Thank you again for the super chats. We appreciate it. Shadowcaster, everybody.
Can you hear
howdy.
Shadow?
Yeah, he can.
Okay. So what's happening up there? What's the skinny of the lay of the land? How busy is it? What's going on? What's happening with the police and access to anything up there?
Well, I just talked to a ranger, just probably 20, 30 minutes ago, and somebody said that you could travel to Cook City and Silvergate through Lamar, and you can't. They're checking everybody at the gate. If you don't have an employee ID or a letter from the superintendent saying you can travel through, then you're not traveling through.
Yeah. And the guy that got arrested, they were like frustrated by it, and they basically were like, no, we're going through, right? That's what I heard. and that's why they were
I
detained or whatever.
that guy. I mean, that guy was kind of flexing his muscles a little bit, trying to prove his constitutional rights, which I think he has a right to. It wasn't a completely innocuous thing. He was kind of trying to push the limits a little bit, but I think that's understandable.
Actually, it's kind of crazy, but we actually have some live audio from that. Let's
Oh no.
For what? I'm not allowed to stand up for myself? I thought this was America. Huh? Isn't this America? I'm sorry. I thought this was America.
He thought it was America, but it was Yellowstone.
America.
Yeah, that's right.
America.
Live audio, everybody.
Well, so have you been in West Yellowstone area yet?
Have I?
Yeah.
No, I'm in Gardner, so I'm on the other side. So it would take me really probably 3 to 4 hours to get to, probably about 4 hours to get to West Yellowstone from here, because I'd have to go around.
So how is Gardner? I mean,
It's pretty dead, honestly. There's not a lot going on here.
Right.
Yeah. Well, wow. It's going to be an interesting year. Have you heard kind of lay of the land so I'm suspecting the one time that Mike and I went, well, I've been now 3 or 4 times, but every time I've gone, I would say about half of the tourists are Asian groups. I don't know if it's Chinese, Japanese. Yeah, and they're not they can't be traveling this year. And a lot of European groups. Those are the 2 groups I saw a lot of. I would say it was over half foreign visitors. If they can't come in, it's typically probably about, I would say probably about 60% foreign visitors. Yeah.
Is that right?
We're not seeing any of that. So then, so what are the hotel? Like usually hotels are sold out by this point.
Oh, there's every hotel here that's open here in Gardner has vacancy. So.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. And we don't even get hotels open here in Vegas yet, so
well, that'll probably change June 1st, but I mean, it's not official. But I would say it's highly likely that the gates in Montana are going to open on June 1st.
Well,
Yeah. So what is it contentious between Wyoming, Montana? I mean, it's odd to me, Yellowstone, and we have 2 states that are not agreeing on when.
Well, not to get into big politics, but Montana's a red state and somehow we have a blue governor.
Okay. We have the mayor versus the governor here in Nevada, and that's been its own interesting phenomenon of this whole coronavirus. Hold on just a second, guys. I have
you got a visitor. So it is Memorial Day weekend this weekend. I wonder, if people will be going or everybody's just staying home this weekend, it seems like.
I mean, if you're going to the park, you're
right. I think we're just going to stay home and do nothing this weekend. We tried to go to Lake
Yellowstone,
30 card.
Yellowstone has released numbers for this week, and they're down their normal visitation by about 20% through the gates that they have normally open.
Right.
There's about 20% fewer people coming through the gates than.
Well, we have the controversy in North Carolina that I've been watching is they opened phase 1. They have seen a spike in coronavirus test exposures and hospitalizations. And the governor said they're moving to phase 2. They haven't said it officially until tomorrow, but he's saying all indications are yes. And the health government and organizations have all said, this is exactly what we mean. Don't do it. You're seeing a spike back up and don't do it. And he's saying he has to do it anyway because of economy, etc. And there's this big debate again. And we're one of the states that are kind of leading the way because we spiked early. And anyway, it'll be interesting to see. So if you were to guess, do you think, so we have the hardcore search group. So do you think there won't be as many family searches, but there'll be lots of searchers. This could give a lot more access to searchers that normally can't get into hotels, can't get into campgrounds, can't get into anywhere up there.
Well, Jack says Memorial Day is going to be a zoo at Yellowstone. Have no doubt. It's opening weekend of summer, really.
What do you think about that?
It won't be this year.
Yeah, no
way. It won't be. No.
Jack's the one that thinks he knows where it is, Mike.
I heard that. I have heard that. Yeah.
9 days. 9 days, Jack. I need my $2 bill. Yeah. So Shadow, you agree? You don't think it'll be? I mean, there's activity, but it's not going to be packed. I don't think.
I bet the beaches,
especially not the Montana side. So I don't know how familiar you are with what is open in the park and what's not right now.
No, please go over it. That'd be great.
So the Grand Loop, the lower part of the Grand Loop is open. So you can get up to basically Madison Junction, but you can't travel from Madison Junction to West Yellowstone. You can't travel from Madison Junction or Norris Hot Springs north to Gardner. You can travel from Norris to Canyon, from Canyon to Lake, from Lake to Grant, from Grant to the south entrance, and you can travel from Canyon to from Lake Fishing Bridge to the east entrance. But you cannot travel in Gardner, from Gardner to Cook City, through the Lamar Valley. You can't travel anything between Mammoth and Norris Madison Junction area.
But can you get to where the treasure is? That's the question.
It depends where you think the treasure
Depends
is.
on where you think it is.
That's true.
Wow.
You can get to the fire hole. The fire hole, you can get to that. You just can't get from basically fire hole from about where Gibbon and Firehole River merge to form the Madison. You can't basically get from there down to West Yellowstone.
Denise says, leaving tomorrow, boots on the ground Saturday. You're going to look for it, Denise? That's awesome. Stay safe wherever you're going. Wear a mask and all that fun stuff, but that's cool. Czar. Nice.
Don't read it. Don't read it. Yeah, no, but
you got to boots on the ground to your own. To the casino, I know they're not open yet, but someday. And even when they do, I don't think poker's really going to be there. So
we'll talk. We have another channel that we're going to talk about. Poker is over as we know it, I think, for the next several years, but okay. So there's a possibility of getting almost anywhere though, Shadow, right? Like, but you might have to take long ways, like Gardner.
No, I mean, not in the park. Absolutely not.
Well, I mean, like Gardner. You can make it to Gardner, right? You just have to.
Yeah, I went for a short search earlier today to rule out a couple.
Oh, there's John Wayne. John Wayne. We got to do lunch.
John Wayne, that movie is on Monday. I know you don't want anybody to watch it because it's not your story, but it is about.
No, he sent me the trailer for it, and he's going to be able to tell his story. So, no, I think it's okay. I don't think, he has his issues with it and lost.
Cameo, John. Look up cameo.com.
Oh, John, we so need to talk about a few things. Okay, Shadow, anything else that would be interesting to know about up there going on right now?
Obviously, the north in the western part of the park, or you can't get to, but the only thing that you really won't be able to reach outside of the park would be anything in or around Cook City and Silvergate, because you still can't get across Beartooth Pass right now.
And do you think especially the law enforcement, is it overly concerned? Is it just doing what, they got their marching orders, they got to do what they got to do? Or where do you think? I found the Rangers.
I think the general, I mean, they're going to, the Rangers, they get put in bad light a lot, and I'm guilty of doing that as well, to be honest. But in their defense, they're just doing their job. And you only see the worst of the worst. You don't see the good stuff. They're actually very frustrated by this as well.
Yeah, that's what I'd suspect. When I've been up there 3 or 4 times, and probably I just go up and talk to everybody. I know that's a shocker, but I probably talked to 30 to 40 different Rangers, and only one had a real issue with me and was just a super jerk. But out of, I would say 15 of them wanted to just shoot the stuff for over an hour. They were just the nicest people, and then a lot of them were in between. There was huge lines, all of that.
Don't tell the Rangers you're hunting for forest treasure.
Right.
That's just a bad idea from the beginning.
Yeah, the one thing I did say is I was investigating on behalf of the press, doing some research, and they love to talk trash. So they were telling me about how terrible searchers were. And it was like, okay, I'm doing it for reporting purposes. And so, yeah, that's.
He points out that Yellowstone has his website, does show which roads are open. And
they've got a great map that shows.
Yeah.
There's some question about the road, that 191 that runs from Four Corners from Bozeman, Montana to West Yellowstone. It runs through that little corner section of the park. which it's open, but technically you're not allowed to recreate in the park off of that road. I don't know how much they're enforcing that.
Alan
But technically you're not allowed to.
Alan K says Ranger Tom Schwartz was really polite when he gave me a citation in the Lamar Valley. Urination in public, Alan?
Yeah, the one that gave me a citation was not polite at all.
You're right. And yes, this is not the place for politics. Whoever said that in the chat.
Yeah, there's a couple. Do you have one that says breathe? A couple. You guys are getting
Breathe. No.
Come on, let's get back to Forrest because there's a couple getting. We're all getting a little. Let's un-Henri ourselves.
Back to the Forrest Fenn material. So I'm surprised. Speaking of cameo, somebody needs to pay a celebrity for a cameo just to read the poem, to read Forrest Fenn's poem. I'm kind of surprised nobody is actually.
If Forrest Fenn did a cameo, I would pay for it.
Oh, yeah, wouldn't that be cool? Forrest, if he knew what it was, he probably could. He could, would have.
There's no way he'd do it. He'd have to be technologically.
Somebody would have to do it, record it for him.
Yeah, but, no, he's not doing that. But I think it would be hilarious if he did. Anyway, okay, so how are any southern searchers? I haven't heard about anybody having any issues. New Mexico, I don't know if it's open yet. I mean, not that anybody's searching there that's looking for the treasure. In Colorado, John. I know John went searching, so I think the other states are open. I don't know though. I don't know how New Mexico is, but Cynthia, I don't think she breaks laws, and so I think she made it from area to area. I haven't actually spoken to her. I've just been texting with her. So I don't know. So it sounds like if you can get to your spot, it's nice and secluded, remote at this point. But you might get some bumps along the way, according to what Shadow's saying. So, but here's one more question. How much is open there? So like in Gardner, I don't know how many restaurants there are, let's say 10. I have no clue. Or hotels, are half of them open? Have all of them opened at lower capacity? What is that looking like, Shadow?
Restaurants, I'd say it's probably about 70 to 80% of the restaurants are open. Probably 70 to 80% of the restaurants are open. Probably half or better of the hotels are open. Everything's open here. For the most part, it's just not being heavily used right now.
Just at lower capacity, yeah. I mean, usually they're able to turn people.
And I imagine it's probably. I imagine it's a similar. I imagine it's the story similar in West Yellowstone as well. Poor Cook City, there's absolutely nothing going on there. What I don't get is they saw the video where they kind of hassled it.
Oh, okay. Breaking up a little bit.
That same day or the following day, they let news crews go to Cook City to do a news story. Yeah, well, that's one of the lovely things about here in Gardner. The internet sucks.
Right. Yeah. Justin points out New Mexico and Colorado are both open, but parks are not. So Shadow, when will you be going to your secret solve area? That's from Chasing Indy.
Well, Indy, it wouldn't be a secret if I told you, would it?
Right. That's true.
Well, and so since I know several people that actually work in the park, you get access before the average searcher gets access, don't you?
Unfair.
Cheater. Hey, I say it's using your assets, but
that's not really true. That's not accurate. I can go in for working purposes, but I can't go in and recreate anywhere that's closed.
But nobody monitors you, right? Or let's not use you.
Oh yeah.
If there was a searcher that happened to be a ranger.
No, I mean, if they happen to be a ranger, they might be able to get a pass on that. But if they're not a ranger, no. I mean, I couldn't go to a trailhead and park and go hike. They're going to be sitting there waiting for me when I get out.
Okay.
And they're going to arrest me, and they're probably going to ban me from the park for a year to 5 years.
That's a good question. Are any of the park rangers in Yellowstone looking for Forrest Fenn's chest, or have they? And because they can't find it, they say, "Well,
I know what."
I'm sure there are some. I'm sure there are some.
They'll never say it.
No, They're not going to tell their people, their coworkers, and they're not going to tell anybody. You're not going to know if it's a ranger that's looking. There are some, but you're not going to know who.
Chasing Indy points out, she asked, when are you going to go? Not where, Shadow, to your secret soul area. When?
Again, when and where is both secret.
Top secret, everybody.
Top secret.
So Donald Stevens, he says he has a donation for the poker tournament. You email me, cowlazars@gmail.com. You let me know what's up. If anybody wants to donate something for the next poker tournament we end up doing on Poker Stars, email me. Let me know.
Oh, Czar has booked a flight to June 5th to his search. Well,
yeah, that's for the Beacon Star, if anywhere else.
Yeah. Okay, well, Yellowstone, I don't know. I think it's going to be, some people are like, this is going to be a devastating. I do think we're going to have a lot less. I think Toby is right about search statistics going down. I don't care if there's a tow contest or not. We are still seeing a downward trend because I think Forrest is not engaging with.
Oh, yeah. I forgot all about that contest. I haven't even read any of this.
All right, you gotta talk about, is that contest completely innocuous, or is there something there?
He's saying tell everybody to dip their toenail in it, apparently. Thanks, Custom. Yeah, toenail, not toe. The thing is about toenail.
Listen to.
What's that?
Say that again, Shadow.
Jack's trying to get people arrested.
It's awesome because I can. Thanks for ordering the map.
Oh, but no one listens to Jack. What is Jack saying?
Well, he's saying bring a dirt bike. Do not take a dirt bike into the park. You're going to get arrested.
Jack. We ignore him. Why do you even read Jack stuff? None of us do that.
All right, let me know, Donald.
I'm just saying there's some people in here that might.
Yeah. Don't do that, and don't do any of that right now. The only thing that I think would be cool is to go this year, and the reason to go this year is the 2 different years that I have been up there. It is so packed everywhere, all the time, every hotel. It's hard to get this. It's hard to get. It seems like this would be the year to go, where there's still going to be people, but it's not going to be a packed jam house at every single location. And that would be kind of cool. That's what I say.
There it is. Yeah.
So what do we think?
Don't listen to me ever.
What does the room think? What do we think of the toe-to-toe contest?
I'm going to look it up. I haven't really looked to see what it is.
Okay. Oh, look who's here.
Open?
Cynthia Meacham is here.
Well, did anybody really think Cynthia was going to find the treasure after she fired me as her partner? Come on now. Sorry, Cynthia, but.
Okay.
Fire.
She's now not moving to Vegas. She's now moving to Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Yeah, you'd have to find the chest to be able to afford to move there. So.
Yeah.
Now, did everybody see on Dale's blog there's a searchable compilation that they've put out for free of all the scrapbooks? That's pretty cool. You can download that on Dale's blog right now.
Who is it did that? They did a wonderful job, actually.
Here, let's show it.
A great resource.
Breaking news. Anybody hasn't seen this before, let's bring it up. I'm sure everybody's familiar with Dale's blog that's watching, but right here we've got a searchable compilation, and that is by Mark Hughes. So this is a PDF. You can download it, and it's a searchable document compilation.
Big.
All the Forrest Fenn scrapbooks. And
I've heard it's like 800 megs, so be ready for that.
Yeah, it's big. I mean,
I've already
it's like
mine. Yeah,
it's close to 1,000 pages, I think. So
well, and here's I want to give a shout out to 2 people. What was his name that made this?
Hughes is
Mark Hughes,
right?
Mark Hughes. That's awesome. But I will say that's pretty awesome of Dale to put it on his site, because there is a lot of revenue that comes with having everybody check in with all of these books and things. With that now there, that will affect things. So I give Dale a lot of credit of not only putting it's on its own page. That really highlights it. Usually he'll have stuff go to the what is it, odds and ends. So I just want to say, Dale, that was very cool that
well, and if Dale put it on his site, you can bet it's probably a pretty good resource, because he's pretty selective about what he puts on his site.
And I think he had to get permission. All that comes from Dale's site, right? So he probably had to get permission to do it, I would assume, but I don't know.
Yeah, and that was something put up by Dale. That's not something Hughes could have put up there himself like that. But I mean,
He even Hughes even his
Ha!
prologue or intro or whatever in that PDF. He actually acknowledges that he had permission from both Dale and Forrest to compile this. So
ES says toe to toe implies there are two people competing with each other for the end. Two lead searchers are going toe to toe. I've never seen toes this clean. This is obviously a doctored picture. Whatever, because these are Dale's feet. I don't know if that's true.
Let me put somebody on the spot here. Cynthia, are you still in the room?
Finny Bones is in the room.
Oh, Finny Bones.
What's up?
Hey, Finny Bones, you did a great song again. That was fun. If Cynthia's in the room, I heard something from a long time searcher that this contest may be pointed to. I've heard from two people that they think it was pointed to. Okay, Cynthia's here. So here's what I'm going to say. And Cynthia, you tell me I don't know if this is true. I just know that you've been around a long time. I heard that the person that has a recent video, about her being the 200 footer is Stephanie. And Stephanie, there was a long-standing joke that Stephanie always went out searching boots on the ground in flip-flops and always had perfectly manicured toenails.
What?
This is what I heard, and I heard it from a very reliable source.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
It is.
Well, and during
knocks on the ground for a minute, but that's that's interesting.
Well, and it was kind of a running joke with Forrest that like she would be like, there would be pictures from her different boots on the grounds, and it would always be that she had perfectly manicured nails, and he would be like, "What are you doing? You have to put some hiking boots on and stuff."
Well,
and supposedly,
I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. That is a requirement that you have to wear flip-flops and you have to have perfectly manicured toes.
Right.
So I will send you a picture of my feet in the next couple of days, okay?
That's
and show you.
So for anybody that doesn't know, this ends this Monday. So we need a new game. This is from Forrest, if everybody, if you didn't know. We need a new game to get us past the virus, and here it is. What are human toenails supposed to be used for? Remember, he didn't say toes. He said human toenails. Please answer in 30 words or less. Researching is not fair because everyone will have the same answers. The winner will be judged to have the most vivid imagination. Add your answer as a comment below. In the case of answers being similar or same, the first one posted will be selected as the original. And then they're going to judge it. There'll be a prize. And he says, try to win and imagine what the prize might be. Does that mean we're supposed to figure it out? Like we're supposed to know I don't know what the prize is, but again, it's going to end on Monday at midnight, this Memorial Day at midnight. One answer per person. Get your answer in by that date time, please. F.
Did you see Cynthia?
It's a booby prize.
I get it.
Well, did you see Cynthia's answer?
No. What's her
Yes, Stephanie was called Pink Toenails on Chase Chat.
Oh, interesting. Toe to toe. So
I heard that.
And Stephanie, since Cynthia just went boots on the ground, you guys are close. That's all right. You're within.
I've always thought that Stephanie was the 200-foot searcher.
No, I don't know.
And I know some areas that Forrest has kind of sent her to, not telling her to search the area, but
I was going to say, in which of the 4 search states and which of the hundreds and hundreds of times?
I think it's just Forrest stirring the pot. He's stirring the pot, everybody. He wants to get everybody riled up because we're coming up on search season, June 1. So I think he's stirring the pot. But it would be cool. Whoever comes up with the funniest answer is who I'm going to assume will win, but we'll see.
I haven't looked in a while, but
it
seems that there's a lot of posts there that it looks like they answered and they didn't actually read the post. So
yeah, they're talking about toes, and the answer is toenails. I mean, the question is toenails, not toes. So they should all be disqualified.
And he also said 30 words or less, and there's like novels put up there.
Well, hopefully something fun will win. Maybe me and K-Pro should come up with an answer because we've never even talked about it before now.
Oh, I'm staying away from.
I've already won, so it doesn't matter.
You have an answer on there? Did you post?
I do. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have an answer on there.
That'll be pretty cool. Yeah, so that's fun. So that's.
I do think it's all in good fun, and I 100% believe he's stirring the pot. He is total. And Mike and I have not talked about this at all. There he goes. There goes Mike. Okay. Have you announced anything about West Yellowstone regarding the fact that there was no service open as of a couple days ago? The only thing open are restrooms and gas pumps. Well, that's why, Cynthia, that's why we have Shadow on. I think it's evolving pretty quick because he's saying there's more than that.
as of Monday, there's more stuff open. I'm sure there's restaurants and probably hotels and stuff that are open there.
Well,
Now.
Show Me 7-1 says Stephanie looked tons of places, but we know somewhere she looked, she was close. How do you know she was close? She doesn't know if she was close. I mean, how can somebody say?
I think with as many places as Stephanie looked, she wasn't. I mean, just by sheer volume of the searches she did.
Well,
And,
I don't know.
and Cynthia might be getting close to topping her. I don't know.
Cynthia's talking inside the park, Shadow.
Well, I'm saying Cynthia with number of searches, she might be getting up there to compete with Stephanie at this point.
But she's saying as far as things being closed, she's talking about inside the park.
Oh no, there's nothing open in the park. They're not set to open anything until the 15th. But I do know that they're looking to start opening up some of those things this weekend.
Oh, that's good. That's important to know.
That's not out there. And I will tell you for a fact that they are looking to start opening up some of the restaurants this weekend, stores and restaurants.
They got a plan for some people to show up, right? Greg Keller. Go ahead, Shannon.
They weren't scheduled to do that, and they haven't announced that they are going to do that yet officially. But I will tell you, under good authority, that is probably going to happen this weekend.
I heard they're going to open up a Chick-fil-A inside the park. Is that true?
I wish.
Greg Keller says I did some channel pepper preparation today. What does that mean? Channel pepper preparation.
You have to say it, Greg.
Greg, what does that mean? Channel preparation today. We're put it chat, so obviously it's not a secret anymore.
Channel is in maybe a YouTube channel.
What Greg's going to do is it's going to be on chess. That's cool. Well, let us know. We'll promote it for sure. If it's Forrest Fenn related, which I'm assuming.
And Gadelkin says she wasn't looking for the treasure chest when she was 200 feet. Yeah, in my opinion, there's too many hundreds of places and areas and all of that. I think it's all just fun. But when I did hear that about the toes and I didn't know that about Stephanie's reference, so I thought it was fun or funny.
Tony Edmonds in the chat. What's up, Tony?
Hi, Tony. Yeah. Welcome. So anyway, well, that's all good information to have. So, if you are searching up there that people are able to get around, Cynthia did. So it's.
Well, ES says toe-to-toe relates to boxing. Oh, interesting. Or like head-to-head, toe-to-toe. Get back in the box. Get back in the boxing ring. That's an interesting analogy or metaphor. I think it has to relate. What are toes for? Toes are for getting a pedicure. What do you do when you get a pedicure? You get a manicure. It's a man that's closest to the chest. I think it's obvious what it's trying to tell us. So, Stephanie, you're out of there. Cynthia, you're out of there. It's a man.
Oh, my goodness.
That's what I should put that as an answer, actually. What do toenails protect? They protect that the man is the lead searcher. Something like that. I don't know. I'd have to fine tune that, I guess.
Someone emailed me and said toenails protect the toe, and everyone knows who had the toe comment come out against her wishes. And so they're protecting the toe, and they're like, what do you know?
Right. Well, there you go.
Oh, you guys are all silly.
Forrest is trying to point back into the dip your toe in it. Maybe he's trying to say where Warm Water's halt is you got warm physical water when everybody has crazy ideas that it's others. I mean, that's actually plausible to me that he's saying.
Do have to say, I don't think it's a coincidence that the day before is when Toby went over his survey and talked about this huge downturn. And unless we hear from Forrest, this is not the craziest contest. The craziest contest, or the craziest thing I think Forrest has ever done, is that dog poop money he put up on eBay. I think that was the craziest. But I don't think a contest like this is going to revive the chase. We are seeing down numbers, but I don't know if that's coronavirus or not. But it is going to take something to kind of get, like Dale said, it's going to take an explosion of some sort. Now I think we're all seeing it. All the numbers are down on the websites and everything. So,
well, I think Toby hit it on the head. I don't think the numbers are going to come back up unless Forrest does another interview and put something out there.
Right.
I really think it's going to take Forrest.
Right.
I think you'll see a quick spike. Unfortunately, if Forrest leaves us, I think you'll see a quick spike for a little while.
Yep.
Yeah. K-Pro is the big toe, Bill Murray. Sergeant Hulka.
Oh,
Anybody?
but Shadow, do you know how many people, even though he's winning passes, there'll be some spike up. A lot of people will throw up their hands because I think things will get crazy for a while. I had this email, but I never wanted to share it
I
before.
think,
I
well,
found it. I have it. That sort of thing.
Well, okay. So Hooli just put the
yeah,
the channel of Greg. So Greg, why don't you come on right now and tell everybody what your channel is and what it's about? Just email me and I'll send you the Zoom link if you want to come on. Go ahead, Shannon.
What was I saying? Oh, I unfortunately, I think there might be a lot of people like me that it's just, they will probably back out of the social media aspect once Forrest passes, because there are going to be so many roosters and so much misinformation that's put out there at that point.
Well, and especially the confirmation that it's still out there. And then you have chests that look so similar, like the one that I forgot the guy's name, Mike, that did the actual like bronze chests. God, I forgot his name. Chris Jones.
Yeah, did the replica chest. Yeah.
I think there's going to be so much hoopla. So I still think there'll be a hardcore group of people. But yeah. And
I really...
Go ahead, Shadow.
I really hope that Forrest can come up with some way to mitigate that. Hopefully he has come up with some way to mitigate that a little bit.
Yeah.
But who knows? We won't know until that time, I guess. But
yeah. Well, and what I was going to say is Anon said, I don't like talking about this. And it's interesting because before I knew Toby and Shelly did a show of what if Forrest would have passed away the day after the treasure, or day after the treasure. It was something about him passing away. And I was so mad at Toby and Shelly, and I wrote Forrest and I said, I'm going to write them and tell them that that's disrespectful. And he's like, you do know I'm human. You do know how this started, right? He's like, they're not saying I want him dead. They're saying what if would have happened, or what is going to happen if. He's like, it's a very enriched conversation or something like that. I don't remember the exact words, but I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, it sucks, but it's a fact of life, people.
Greg,
it's going to happen. You can't hide from it.
Yeah.
So we do have live audio when Forrest was talking about the toe-to-toe contest. Here we go. Give me 1 second. Yeah, and Hooli did put Greg's new GTC. Does that mean get the chest? It's called GTC, but we don't know.
I told you
what I live audio for us.
I'm going to volunteer my leadership to this platoon. An army without leaders is like a foot without a big toe. And Sergeant Hulka isn't always going to be there to be that big toe for us. I think that we owe a big round of applause to our newest, bestest buddy and big toe, Sergeant Hulka.
And Big Toe. That was Forrest and Dale talking when they first came up with that. It's crazy how we have the live audio, but we get these things from time to time.
Cal, you got to read Finny Bones.
What's that? Read
his comment.
And that's pretty funny, Fenny Bones. I did the same thing. Can of tuna fish came down on my toe. I lost a nail. It was not pretty. I even got this thumb, which I don't want to show you guys because you'll throw up. This was slammed in a car door on accident, and it hasn't fallen off yet.
I will say it's gross. I mean, it's gross. I'm usually not that bad because you have kids that have stuff happen to. When he showed it, I actually painted it, and then it even made it worse because it was so.
Yeah. Now it just looks blood everywhere.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. So Greg Keller's got the YouTube channel coming up. No videos as of yet, but if you guys subscribe and hit the bell, you'll be notified when he does make one.
Here he comes.
There's a toe-to-toe song, Denise says. Okay, I might have to look that one up. Love that movie Stripes. So did we. Yeah.
So I'm hoping if our documentary comes out and actually wouldn't it be amazing if there was like a Netflix series or a History Channel series that would make a spike in the chase. So yeah, we'll see if any of these catch on. Our stuff
nice,
is
Jack. That's real nice.
Our stuff is
an accident.
So K-Pro, do you think there's any news or stories or anything coming from Finn here in the short term? I mean, his June 1st date's coming up here in
surprise
days. So yeah, I mean, do you think he's going to come out? He usually kind of say something at the beginning of the search season?
At least say, get your engines ready to go or something.
Yeah, well, he said, everybody hold tight till June 1st. If I were to guess, my answer is I don't know. I have not talked to him about this. But if I were to guess right now, because things are so sensitive between the different states, high risk people, I bet you he doesn't say much of it. If he does say anything, it'll be like stay safe. I don't think he'll have like something really, oh, I have a gut feeling it's going to be found this year, because that might encourage people to go out, and then they're, that sort of thing. That's my guess. I know the couple of surprises are now not happening, so I don't know if there's others that may be happening. So I don't know. So
Moby Dickens or Uncle Titus says Moby Dickens interview was on June 1. So wouldn't that be cool if there was like a new interview or something? But no.
Oh, I don't think there's a chance. That
Okay.
if I were to guess, there's
either.
no way, not with Peggy and him being the age they are. I think he will. I think that's probably one of the hardest things on him, is he's such a social butterfly, and I don't think he's, well, you guys saw the video with Cynthia. He wouldn't even get near Cynthia just even to say hello.
It
So
would have to be over Zoom, and Forrest is not going to know how to set that up. He's not going to.
But I think that has a lot to do with him wanting to protect Peggy as well.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, but I think if he went out for the day, let's say he went to Fenbury for the day, I don't think he's, he wouldn't come back to,
No.
he would be bringing stuff back. So I don't think
Right.
I don't think he will. And unfortunately, that's what really keeps things going, I believe. So, oh, Captain Marvel, he's totally a social, but he loves talking with searchers for hours. And like, he came to Operation Jamie, and he was going to be there and just drop by the Blue Corn for 20 minutes. He was there for hours. When we came and interviewed him for the documentary, he told me, you get 5 minutes with me, you get 5 minutes with Douglas. And we have like 3 or 4 hours of it. So, I mean, we were there for hours and hours. And he loves to tell stories. He loves to hear about people. And of course, we had a new documentarian there, and he wanted to know all about him and what he thought of the chase, because he was new and he didn't know about it and what he thought. And yeah, he's a total social butterfly in my opinion.
What's your time frame looking like on your documentary now?
Well, we're a little bit spinning because there's 2 interviews we're still waiting to get travel-wise, and I don't know when I'm going to be able to travel for work. My work has taken a very conservative approach of they're not authorizing anyone to travel for work. And so since this is wrapped up in a work project, the other piece is we did get our initial meeting set up with a network, and that initial meeting was like the week that the coronavirus shutdown happened. So they are not taking meetings, even though it was an informal lunch to discuss more. We did the hook of the idea. They wanted to sit down with us. They wanted to hear more. We would have had the trailer ready and there by that time. That has now been put on. It's not off. It just was put on hold until they can start taking meetings again. So as soon as that meeting would have taken place in North Carolina, the next meeting would have taken place at the state that they're headquartered in. And so we have to get that first initial meeting done. I'm assuming maybe sometime in June. But now, do they have backlogs of, they only take so many show ideas a year? Have we missed the window for this year? We don't know. I think everything's delayed, but I don't know what that looks like. So, and
I just want to point out, changing topics, but Larry Smith says, Fenn said most of the clues have been there for centuries. Must be the blaze, which is the only thing new. I don't know that Forrest Fenn has ever said the clues have been there for centuries. He said they were there when he was a kid, but that's not centuries. So just be careful what we post.
He said, and he didn't even say all of them. He said
most, right? Most, but that would be decades, not centuries. So I've never heard that quote where he said the clues have been there centuries. So I'm just pointing that out. That's all.
Yeah. Well, and Cynthia says, I've been home less than 48 hours and I'm already looking at lodging again.
I hear you.
Ah, that's funny.
Yep.
Well,
Cynthia, if you head back up to the Gardner area, we got to catch up.
Well, and I know she'll go before this, but we're thinking July. If all things go well, we're gonna try to get an actual searcher meetup in July. So that'll be hopefully fun for, I know of at least 10, 15 searchers that are in the area that want to meet up. And then I think there's some people that are like, oh, hey, I don't have to make my reservations a year in advance. I'll travel in at that time if it's safe and all of that. So hopefully we're hoping to bring the whole trio of kiddos. So if everything works out.
Well, and I'd like to add that once the park does get open, anybody that visits the park or even come close to the park, make your way up to Cook City and Silvergate and spend some money there. Those poor folks have been cut off and they're hurting up there.
Yeah, I bet. I don't even know what to say because it's like,
right.
Yeah, I was wondering. So is the town is it like Hatfield McCoy's right now of like who shut down the city versus all of the shop owners that are trying to survive? Are they like in turmoil?
I mean, it's town. That town is very isolated, anyways. But they have a very big winter season, and then they have a pretty. I mean, I think winter is probably their biggest season, even over summer, quite honestly.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's a destination snowmobile, and there's people that come from all over the world to go up there snowmobiling. But yeah, I mean, they're hurting because they have no even residual income coming in up there because they are completely isolated from everybody.
Yeah, interesting.
Hooley, it's Hooley, right?
Hooley.
Yeah. I think I saw the pronunciation.
What
is there to do there?
Search for Forrest Fenn's treasure.
Yeah. Let's see. It's a what do you call it? It's a great little town with a drinking problem. The biggest thing to do up there is drink, probably. But there's some gift stores. There's some great artists up there and photographers and stuff up there. There's a lot of little lost things to visit up there. You will not regret going out there and visiting it. It's truly one of the most beautiful places you can go. Be a little put off and it's hard to some of this stuff, but there's a lot of history up there and there's a lot of art. There's a lot of really cool things to see. There's some good restaurants that you just can't find the type of cuisine or the environment or the ambiance. So yeah, visit it, make it a point to go out there. It's one of the jewels of Yellowstone that people just don't know about.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, we are at the 1 hour mark. And before we go, I just wanted to mention I had the Zoom. Me and K-Pro had the Zoom for the Beacon Star. We had 7 of us, and I'm going to do it again next week. Was it Tuesday night we did it last week?
Yeah.
They say we do it again this Tuesday, but that would depend on you. So if anybody that wants to be included in the Beacon Star live Zoom, you got to email me, cowlazars@gmail.com. I think I'm going to try and make it a weekly thing. And we just kicked around ideas. And for anybody who doesn't know, it's a treasure hunt in Denver for $5,000 plus a gold coin.
Hey,
so,
Cal.
Yo.
Did you look into that double triangle thing?
I really didn't look into it. I mean, I saw the video. I understand what he's trying to say. I don't know how that would work with the Forrest Fenn poem. Because Forrest, I'm
talking for the Beacon Star.
Yeah, Beacon Star. I've tried to look into it to crack it, and we talked about that in the Zoom we did, but so far nobody has figured out what it is. I think it's going to be a lot more simpler than what people think. It looks so complicated because of all the triangles. Well, all I did was replicate the same thing over and over again. But I
haven't really looked into it. I'm not really into the Beacon Star all that much, so. Right. I really haven't invested a lot of time. It was just kind of one of those things that I'm like, maybe.
Yeah, right. No, I understand. And I think this Tuesday I may even give a solution to one of them there puzzles. So if anybody's interested, email me, cowlazars@gmail.com to get the invite for the Beacon Star. We just ask that you have the book, or at least you want to, discuss puzzles. Go ahead, Kate.
The other one, Indy's saying I want to do the featherbutt riddle. Pete put out an additional clue a couple days ago that said he changed the rules a little bit because people were really throwing out stuff. He thinks it's going to be solved by June 1st. If people have all the same solves, he's going to put all their names in a hat and pick one out. So if you have this is the breakfast tea and bourbon. This is for the case of bourbon. He has a riddle out there. It's been out there for 3 years. And every month he looks at all of and he put out hint about sometime this last month. We did a Zoom on it, etc. But get your hint in, but he's only taking, or answers in. He's only taking one a day, or one for the rest of the month. And if you put a second one in, it negates your first one. So just know that as well. So there you have it.
Yeah, June 1st, whatever Pete does put out, we'll talk about it in the show for sure.
Yeah.
I think what he said is there are people that are on the right track. So whatever that means.
Well, and he said, no, I think what Holy put, good news is coming by June 1st. He believes.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
And somebody said that he said somewhere on Facebook that he believes he has 3 people that have solved it so far, but I have not been able to confirm that.
It'll be interesting to see what the answer is, if it makes as much sense as he thinks it does, or if it's one of those. We'll see.
I think his will be a lot like the Forrest Fenn treasure. It will be interesting because it'll be like the Forrest Fenn treasure. He thinks it's so obvious, and it's not. And let's just see. And he says it's going to be very simple.
Captain Marvel, I when we did the video, a lot of people emailed me answers. I sent them all in one email to Pete, but he doesn't respond to wrong answers. But I did say, Pete, is this the right email? And he emailed me back and said, yes, this is the correct email. But he did not respond to any of those answers I said. One thing that we neglected to say in the show, which we should have, is the answer is a 4-inch by 4-inch plot of land. So a lot of people are like, it's a lure, it's a dart on a board, it's a bullseye. No, it's a 4-inch plot of land somewhere in the U.S. That is the correct answer. You have to figure out where that plot of land is, or what it is, or whatever. So a lot of the answers I said in were wrong, which I didn't realize at the time. So we'll see. June 1st, we'll see if the answer is there or not.
And I think if I were to guess, this is totally a hypothetical guess, there might be some new hunts coming up that are going to be kind of exciting for the larger treasure hunting community.
I hope so. Treasure hunts are always good. And what do we say? We always say support people to do treasure hunts. So.
Yeah, and we need an amusement park of treasure hunts, because you can only fixate, for me, on Forrest Fenn so much. It helps me go to a different, like Beacon Star, I'm going to try to jump into. I know I haven't been, just to try to just exercise my brain in a different way. That's it. There you have it. There it is. Shadow, thank you so much for coming on. We wanted to do something tonight, a little different, give everybody an update. But we are going to be spooling up to the search season. So things are opening, guys, it sounds like. But this weekend will be a big one, I think. So once things are officially out, Shadow's given us a couple of maybe local scuttlebutt rumor info on the street. But by next week, we'll be able to give a lot more info, so thank you, Shadow. You were great with the information.
And a lot of people
keep my ears open, and maybe next week we'll do the same thing.
All right.
Excellent.
All right, everybody, let's take it out with this. What is it? Do you know, Capra?
Is that Fenny Bones?
Yeah, it's Fenny Bones.
Yeah.
Fenny Bones on YouTube, everybody. Go check it out.
Looking for a blaze and a wasting time while my warm water's halt is a going dry.
How does the video not have more than 1,000?
I found my quest in the canyon down. I must put in below the home of Brown. Well, I was brave in the wood, you see. My wife stays home with my dog Willie.
All right, everybody. My dog Willie. All right. Well, Monday's Memorial Day. I don't know if we'll have a show or not. We probably will, but you guys will see. You got to subscribe. Remember, we're not posting the link anywhere like we used to. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell notification. Hit all. We may go live over the weekend. You never know.
You never know.
All right. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.